Hey everybody, welcome to another round of Canje Plays, and today we got a Canje Play special. We are going to be playing Folklore, the Affliction, Fall of the Spire expansion, which is the second expansion for the Folklore, the Affliction board game created by Greenbrier Games. It's a special one because a very awesome person, Julia Hearn, I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I love your stuff. I want to let me see how I can help during Gen Con. And she was like, sure, do you want to play a game? I said, sure. And so we are playing Folklore the Affliction today because she is awesome and allowed me to be part of Greenbrier Games' demoing section for a day, which is awesome. So thank you, Julie. Hey Mel, Marison, hey Doc, what's going on? Good morning. You have everything folklore, such as the epic adventure. I do like the game. I think it's a really great RPG game. I think that in the base game and Dark Tales that I found that there's been some homebrew created by other content creators that make the game so that you can enjoy the story more than have to worry about the fight and combat. So once I've adapted that, this game is amazing. Jay is awesome. Yeah, she is. Julie is amazing, and I don't know. She may pop in from time to time, but we'll see because she's busy at the booth at Gen Con. So, okay, where do we get into this? Let's get some information. Let's get down to the table before we begin. Thank you to my Patreons. I appreciate you so much. Thank you to my YouTube subscribers. I appreciate you so much as well. The 500 sub stream is happening next week, and I will get that scheduled tonight. It's morning for me, so for me and my small section of the world. But tonight, I will schedule a 500 stream for next week so we can have fun and enjoy it and really have a great day of board game. So, okay. Before I begin, I always have to do this stop thing because I want to turn and do it. Hey, Kate, what's going on? Pull up a chair. I am human, okay? I make mistakes. Like humans do, I do not get the rules always right. But the thing is I have fun while playing one, and I'm learning while I'm playing two. So if it's a game where it's a campaign, and you see the first playthrough of it, and it's like, oh, you made like 5 different rule mistakes. I recognize that, and I want that feedback. I want you to tell me so that I can fix it so when I play the next time, I don't make those 5 mistakes. But also allow grace for if I make mistakes. I got the chat here to tell me, hey, you're supposed to do this thing and keep me honest. And I've got the description below for later. So let me know and give me productive feedback on what needs to be fixed so that I can make sure that I give the best playthrough experience for what you're coming here to see. So random, I just gifted a copy of the base game and creation kit to Britain players and Unleash the Archers. They're really excited. That's awesome. That's awesome, Doc. I'm sure they'll be really excited about it. Did you said the base game and the creation kit? Okay. So with Fall of the Spire, something new has been added to Fall of the Spire. Before it was kind of like that top level RPG element, like Explore It, where you're just moving around the map, and then you have some encounters, or you'd pull out a map, like one map tile, and that is where combat would happen. Fall of the Spire did something a little different. They every single time Greenbrier's adding on to the thing to give you a rich world of Kremel. Where the first base game was just that, the above world map, and then just certain combat boards. The Dark Tales one brought you rumors, so now it's like you get side missions and quests to do things. Well, Fall of the Spire brings you town events, and you're actually dealing with things inside of a town like Eurotrust or all those other towns that are out there, which is pretty dang cool. I think that's amazing that they're building on it, giving you this rich story of what things are going on. Okay, let's get information, get down to the table, I'll show you what the stuff is, and I'll introduce our 2 characters that we'll be playing. And if you recognize the names, it's because I've been watching a specific series on TV that I love the show, so I've named my 2 characters after characters from that show. So see if you can guess which show it is when I show you the names. Okay, Folklore the Affliction, Fall of the Spire, 8.6 on Board Game Geek. It's an expansion, the second expansion for Folklore the Affliction. 72 people gave it a rating of 8 point. Now look at this community thing for best play and community play. Solo. That's right. They are singing my language. This game is best played solo, which is great. And you'll see why as you play because they've added an initiative board and certain things that go, but a lot of still the key pieces of the main game remain. Hey, Steven, what's going on? Pull up a chair, pull up a chair. It's going to be a fun day at Gen Con. So, designer Nick Blaine and Will Donovan. The artists are Jason and Henning, and published by Greenbrier Games. So, this is all really great stuff. Now, look at the weight complexity on this bad boy. Because there is a lot of stuff to keep track of. So, there's a weight complexity of 4 out of 5. I think Explorer touched that on their third expansion, which was the Sands of Shirax. They hit 4. So there's a lot to go to the game, but we're only going to be playing through the first mission and whatnot, so you can get to see what that looks like, get a hang for the game, see if it's something that you really want to, mess with and see how it goes. It'll be fun. It'll be fine. We'll do great. So let's get down to the table. Okay. Look, it's all set up. Who did this? Okay, so let's introduce our 2 characters. We have, and yes, this is the minis. I haven't painted them yet, but don't you worry. I'm on a painting kick, because if you're following me on Instagram, you're seeing all my different minis that I've been painting, and I've been posting them there. So, we'll be playing with the Warlord, and we'll be playing with the Viper Maiden. So these are the 2 characters that we're going to be playing with. And I'll hold these up for you to see. So this is the Warlord. So Vida's health. Defense is how much they have to get through, so your AC, right, if you're a D&D player. Your might is how much you add to your roll. Your damage is how much you add to the damage if you hit. Power points is basically like mana, and stride is how much you move. He also has these lovely skills, ecology, faith, nerve, and trickery, so when he rolls on those, he adds those numbers to it. Then he's got navigation, gain +1 stride on desert adventure maps, gain absorption 1 during 1 combat per chapter, stacked with other absorption elements. So he starts with a Koposh, wooden shield, bandage, and he can get prayer. Then we have I'm gonna save the names for last and all this other stuff because I want you to post in the chat if you know where these names come from. Then we have our Viper Maiden, and our Viper Maiden, she has 21 health, 36 defense, 6 might, 1 damage, 5 stride. She's very aware. Ecology, occult, and trickery. This kind of matches the characters a little bit, in my opinion. Desert knowledge, immune to the effects of dust storm and quicksand, cannot be pushed. She cannot be pushed. If you try to push her, she won't have it. For the classes, when you get this game, you will be having to determine a focus. Either for the Viper Maiden, it's either going to be a spy or an assassin. I've chosen the spy because it matches with the character that I'm thinking of for the show. And she gets a ton of stuff that I gotta keep track of. These are the things that you have to keep track of. So, it basically says you may make an awareness 9 check at the beginning of each encounter to gain 5 lore plus 1 initiative and an extra move action for the first round of combat. So, I'll roll awareness on my die. Add +2 to it and see what happens. At the beginning of a skirmish, you may pass Trickery 8 to scout ahead and decrease the skirmish counter by 1. Pretty cool. So Trickery is 1. As +1, so I roll die, add +1 to it, and if I hit an 8 or higher, I decrease the skirmish counter by 1. After a combat, you may pass Awareness 9 to notice a detail about one creature and gain +5 might versus that creature if you face it again. Does not stack. So, pretty cool. So she can just kind of build up power to kill so many things. And then we have our lovely, lovely Warlord, which is here. So that's his focus. His character focus I chose was the Dervish. And it was once per encounter, the Dervish can perform a whirling dance of blades maneuver, giving him an attack versus all adjacent foes using 1 equipped melee weapon. So I can attack everybody who's around. He may pass through foes without penalty up to his stride as well if he wants to. Now he starts off with Ancient Art of War, which says that it gives him to gain plus for 1 power point, gain +2 initiative, and you may attack before creatures during the first round of a skirmish. So whenever I get into a skirmish, so skirmishes are basically there's two sides of combat. There's a skirmish, and I'll grab this to show you. This is skirmish, and how does it it's a skirmish? It says skirmish on it. It's not map combat. It's just theater of the mind. You're facing off against these creatures, and this counter says how much of them they are, and when you knock this down to 0, you defeat them. So that's what skirmishes are, and you roll these die to determine how many people you're going to face. So so Greenbrier's kind of made it so it's at max 4 for 2-player, 1 to 2 player, well 2-player. For 3 to 4 players, it's a D6, so max 6. And for 5 players, it's 2d4, so max 8. So you can end up facing 8 foes. So it scales a little bit to make it so that you don't get mashed to bits on a skirmish. The next other side is actual combat, where you have a map and you flip over the skirmish and you get this, which tells you the mini, what they do if they hit you, their buffs, how much you have to hit them, how far they move, what do you get for beating them, and then their health. Now, one of the things that's gotten kind of reviewed was the health, right? Where there's been a lot of house ruling on it that says, like, the health may not be scaled. I don't know, because if it basically says, take the most characters on here, so 5 characters, the highest health, and divide that by 5. So you get 6, right? So it's 6 health per character. So what you would do is then say, okay, well, with 2 characters, that should be 12, but no, it's 18. So I've heard a lot of chat about kind of the health, and I've house ruled that rule to where it's like you take the most characters in health, divide that by that number, and that's how much each character's health is worth, and that's how much the health of the creatures are that you're fighting. But, each their own. He also has Insane Courage, Warlord. At the start of combat, before making your first attack, gain 2 Vita, spend 2 power points to gain 5 Vita, so 1 power point, this is once before a fight. I can heal a little bit. He gets off starting with this lovely weapon, which is the Kopash. And it's basically said attack rolls greater than 90, strike 1 additional adjacent foes. So got some burst damage. What dice you roll, it's one-handed, it's a melee weapon, and it costs 10 gold to buy. So he also starts off with a bandage that helps him heal, and a lovely, lovely shield that gives him +4 defense. So his defense kind of goes up because of that shield. This is how much these are the things that he can do at these locations because of him. And then as you upgrade, you got this side of this card. So it's coming. Hey, Warren, what's going on? Pull up a chair. What's up, Robert? Pull up a chair. Pull up a chair. Cheater. Hey, Brian. So everybody just come gather around the table. Gather around the table. She starts off with the Viper Maiden. So the Eastern Stealth. If you are not adjacent to a foe, you become untargetable until your next turn. You may not move or make melee attack. Spend an additional 1 power point to remain invisible for an additional turn. So it's basically you're hiding for a sec to just kind of catch your breath or do whatever, strategize. Then she has Zoroaster's Emissary. Your will to survive is strong. When you are reduced to 0 Vita, you may pass Nerve 7 to recover 1d4. So, and this is like passive. So you have these active and passive abilities. That means that I can spend a power point. Actually, no, it's a passive. It just happened. On your starting equipment, she gets a recurve bow that has 3 shots on it per combat. So that means when it runs out, it doesn't mean you throw your bow away. It's useless. It's just it refills for the next combat. That's one thing that throws me sometimes. I always want to ask about that. Like, why 3? If you give them a range, just let them harry enemies. Be a ranged character. +5 to might. True. I'll have to look up what true means. True. She rolls a d4, adds +1 to it. It's a 2-handed weapon. It's ranged and 10 coins. And then she has the Jambia, who basically says exhaust to force a foe to reroll their attack against you. I was told that there was a pineapple free. So stay strong for me, people. No pineapple on pizza. That's right, no pineapple on pizza. I said it here. I said it here first. Well, I didn't say it here first, but 1d4, one-handed melee at 10 coins, extra actions that she can take, and lore. Now, let's introduce our lovely characters because I've printed out a sheet that I'm going to be using for this stream. So, our Viper Maiden will be named Magra. She was a spy. I've gotten her skills listed down here. And our Warlord is going to become Baba Voss. That will be his name. He's the Warlord Dervish for this hell here. So, agreed. Never liked the ranged weapon in the game. After 3 rounds, they just slap the mobs then. Yeah, I prefer to be... I'd like to have a character that is ranged, because I do like ranged characters. So, our 2 characters after a show that I really enjoy, it's called Magra and Baba Voss. If you know what show I'm talking about, I hope you enjoyed it. Steven, why are you evil? Okay, so we have the initiative board. So now it's no longer a in combat, not a skirmish, combat. Now it's no longer that enemies, we go, then enemies go, then we go, then enemies go, like turn-based combat. It's turn-based, but it's due to an initiative set. So this new addition is in Fall of the Spire. When you start off, you roll a d10, find your place on the board. If you're at 1, you go last. If you're at 10, you go first. But there are really cool things that come with it. You get these initiative cards now, and I'll show you one of them. So you flip over these initiative cards because, I'm gonna have to shuffle for shenanigans. Pineapple and barbecue chicken, you're a monster. So you get like the sneak attack initiative. So if you're playing with 2 characters, which I am, as above, with plus 10 might. So once per encounter, move up to your stride and make 1 free melee attack at any time. This time does not count as your turn. This attack does not count as your turn. And with 2 players, you add plus 10 might to that attack. So when you flip this, you kind of put it over here. You roll a d10. So I rolled a 1. So this buff will go here, and you put this other ticker here to say that that's what it's indicating. So if anyone is on the 1 slot, they get that buff. So those kind of initiative bonuses happen as you play. All right? But that's not it. So you're like, okay, well, what about the foe? That's the initiative that can help us hit harder. The foes get one too. They've got this foe tactics deck. And so they get lovely stuff that hurt us as well. The cards have driven you mad. So, like Vicious Threat. So 2 to 3 characters. A random foe in Aura 1 loses 1 bite at the start of their turn. So rewards, immediately move and attack for free. So basically, this is a foe's tactic. You do the same thing, you roll it, and this one's 7. So you say it's 7 here, and you put that ticker above that one. And what ends up happening is if the foe is on this, they get to use this against you. That's the tactic they're going to use to hurt you. So it makes the foes a little bit dynamic than what's on the attack card, because you're still doing this. It's just they get that on top of it. And it just like we get our initiative and we get our buff on top of that, if that makes sense. You'll see it as we play through. Really cool thing that's been added. Really cool thing that's been added. Now, remember, we had our road events, we had our off-road events, and with Dark Tales, we had our rumors. Well, now we have town events. So now we have another deck that deals with events that are in a town. So when you go to a town and you're going to make use of things like the inn or the apothecary, or the stables, or the gypsies' hut encampment place thing that they do, you would draw a town event. And when you draw a town event, which is pretty cool, if you notice at the top, Apothecaries, chapel, market, and physicians are called thoroughfare events. Gypsy encampment, inns, stables, and tinkers are called back alley town events. And so you would read what would happen that would happen during that town event. And that's what this deck is. So it's kind of like the road event and off-road event, but in a town. I love this so much because I would love to say, like, there is this, let's say we make a game. God, why is it Steven? right? So let's say we make a game and there is no map. There is just kind of like an overworld map. You move about, kind of like, I don't know, folklore. But every single time you hit a town, you drew a town event. Then once you resolve the event, you deal with the town stuff. So my thing would be, if if there wasn't the battle sets that were there, but there were the town events, there were the road events, the off-road events, and the rumor cards, and all that, and it's just you're moving around dealing with these things. Great game. So that's what makes this game great. It's adding some really great things to it, and it's just beautiful. I'm firmly in your camp, but I have to respect Kate's leadership of it. Yeah, Kate leads her pineapple cultists with vigor and strength. Initiative, it does add some dimension, but adds more fiddliness. Not sure it can support more fiddliness. It does. I think it's just more trying to break up the Doc. I think it's more trying to break up the you go, I go. Okay, it's my turn. Okay, it's your turn. Now it's how can we move? And remember, this is one thing to keep in mind. The initiative board is not set at what you roll. So let's say I roll a, oh, I don't know, what do I roll? A 1. And my warlord starts off at 1, right? I can spend the power point to move up 1. I don't like that it costs power points, but making use of the homebrew rule that came from I think is Delvin Dice or something. I can't remember the name. I can't remember his name, but he posted some homebrew rules on Board Game Geek where you recover Vita and power points based on dice rolls every turn. I'm okay. Not every turn, sorry. After every combat or skirmish. So basically, at the end of combat, I can get the Vita back that I can use, if I roll pretty well. But you can move up or down by spending power points on the initiative board. So you can shift positions and move around. The enemy also has this really cool thing where they charge energy. And it's only cool when they're charging, because when they fully charge it, it happens. And we may see all of that. This is why it's a 4.0 complexity. It's a lot of stuff to keep track of, and Doc's right that some may feel that this can add some fiddliness to it, but I think the overall story, what I would do with this, I'll talk about that after we get through this. You're here for Gen Con, you're here for a playthrough, so let's do that. And we've got minis, unpainted minis to put out stuff. Okay, so let us break out the story journal for Fall of the Spire. I'm curious, as this is the second expansion, Dark Tales had Story Journal 2. Where was Story Journal 3? But this is Story Journal 4. I'm assuming it might be in the creation kit. But Story Journal 4. They talk about expanded rules on Story Journal 4 when it comes to, or advanced combat rules when it comes to fleeing from a skirmish and all this other stuff that you can do. Then they talk about the initiative board and stuff that you can go through. So, unpainted blasphemy. Soon, I'm but one man. So new rules. So they talk about the initiative charge. There are desert events that happen on here that you have to deal with, and desert maps. And there's a dust storm that can really screw you up. Yes, you go through the desert and bad things happen. So they talk about all that, barriers of light and darkness, things that happen. You get these new companions that can actually join you in combat now, like guard dogs and mercenaries and all these other things. There's elevation that you have to deal with. So this is, like I said, complexity add. This is why it's going up to a 4. But it's still a fun game. Don't get it twisted. It's still fun. So, new card decks. There's the equipment cards deck, which we probably won't get to, but if we do, that'd be great if I'm able to find one. They talk about all those different editions, custom afflictions that come up if you want to fight them. Playing solo, it just kind of runs through what you need to do, and it's saying that, you can play the game true solo, it's going to hurt. So play with two characters and just, deal type of thing. Okay, so then we get to our story. Do I have world event cards? Do you have world event cards? There's road event cards that happen in the upper world. There is off-road events, there's rumors. I do not have world event cards. I thought there would be. Maybe it's in Dark Tales. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far in Dark Tales. I'm only on story 3. So, okay, so into the city. It is dusk because nightmare would be terrible for me because I'm a terrible dice roller. And if you've never seen me roll dice and you're new to coming watching me stream and you've never watched any of my content, oh, you're in for a treat. All right, so it's gonna be dusk, and we'll talk about what dusk means when that time comes. There's a reason why it's there. You're starting in Eurotrust, and this one takes about 2 hours. Okay, we're gonna see if I don't die, but we'll see what happens. So if you want to be spoiled, you can read what happens in this long thing here. If you want to read that for what happens in Dark Tales, I'm skipping that. I don't want to know about it. I'm gonna play Dark Tales and find out what happens. But Fall of Spire takes place right after Dark Tales end. So I'm just playing the first couple chapters. The first well, the whole story is 2 hours. A chapter could be shorter. So I'm just going to play the first couple chapters. I don't want to spoil too much of Dark Tales for me, but we'll see where it goes. Okay, so chapter 1, we've got a skirmish table. That means that if we need to skirmish, we'll roll a d10 and skirmish with whoever it says to skirmish. Hey, Meeple Monkey, what's going on? Pull up a chair. Separately by, do you have... Oh, it's a separate buy. Gotcha. I don't have the world events, but if it's a separate buy, I might pick them up because I've been Canje. So we'll see. Am I still a verb? or is it? Yeah, am I still a verb? So, a search for clues. Attention! If you're choosing characters that completed the Shadow of the Dark Spire stories, choose a character to receive the we don't want to know blah 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 blah. No spoilers. Otherwise, choose a character to receive the Seal of Kremel artifact. So we go to our artifacts deck and we find the Seal of Kremel. There it is. So the Seal of Kremel says, group receives a +1 skill check, +1 to skill checks, +1 damage. The bearer may exhaust for a chapter to give +5 might, +5 defense for 1 combat. And it goes around your neck. It's a neck item. Yes, you are. So that's it. So we get that. I'm going to give it to Baba Voss. He will have that. And this is where there's a lot of stuff to keep track of. So if you be like, you forgot to add this thing, don't feel shy to put that in the chat. Do not. Keep me honest. The people who are usually here and join me at the table know that I'm full well open to feedback. So if you're like, you forgot to add this number, put it in the chat. We'll fix it up and we'll get it going. However, shortly after the events in the Shadow, the seal stopped functioning. You receive no benefits. Sweet. So you gave me an artifact. Whoever possesses the seal is considered the seal bearer. However, shortly after the events in the Shadow of the Dark Spire, the seal stopped functioning. You receive no benefits. You keep it with you for safekeeping. The seal does not count towards a character's item limit. So everything I just read you is useless. Thank you. I got a pretty trinket around my neck. The residents of Kremel have been forced to endure the machinations of the mysterious and dark forces that have seemingly plagued this land forever. Now, the seal of Kremel has come into your possession during your journeys. The alchemist has reforged the seal from its many pieces, and the priest at the Church of the Crossroad has blessed it. They are both certain that the seal must be an essential part of the mystery behind why fiends and forces from other dimensions beset Kremel. It is unclear what must be done with this reforged relic whose origin dates back before recorded history. You must uncover its significance, wield its power to restore the land to its natural balance, and bar ancient evils from enslaving mankind and controlling the earth. Oh, why not just Kremel? Ominous lights. There are 4 lights. There are 5 lights. Ominous lights have begun to glow in the sky around the Dark Spire, far off on its lonely plateau. What was once a plague on the landscape to every eye has become a source of unease and terror. Bright lights, 6 in all. I'm sorry. It's bright lights, 6 in all, orbit near the spire's peak, lighting up the sky with an unearthly reddish glow. The weather has changed. Ooh, if they have weather events, that would be really cool. The weather has been changing since their appearance, becoming inclement and overcast. The red radiance the lights emit seems to be draining the land of vitality and the people of their nerve. As far as the histories tell, the generations of people inhabiting Kremel have neither spoken of nor drawn attention to the spire for fear of some ancient evil reawakening within its alien walls. Neither ritual nor festive speak of the spire, nor festivals speak of the spire. Hush whispers of its dark origins circulate to keep the foolish from drawing close and rousing whatever lies within. But more mundane concerns have accompanied your attention. Occupied, not accompanied. I can read. The people of Kremel have become frightened. Some have taken to the hills to seek a safe haven, while others have boarded caverns looking to leave this forsaken land. I'd leave. Most have become anxious and untrusting, while some have even taken to looting and crime in face of this new omen of doom. Looters and thugs have fed off the fear and worry, igniting a new era of organized crime activity. You received a request from the officials in Eurotrust to investigate a disturbance. Bizarre but not necessarily supernatural. A growing number of townsfolk have been discovered grotesquely mutilated, their bodies cut with expert precision, and most of them missing extremities and internal organs. Ooh. Some have disappeared from their infirmary beds in the middle of the night, and the homeless are vanishing from the streets. One of the town's tinkers was assaulted on the street after dark, barely escaping and ended up in the infirmary. He claims that he was accosted by a man wielding a sharp implement. Soon after telling his tale, he went missing from the very ward where he slept, never to be seen again. You decide to question those in the infirmary and any others who could have been witnesses to the strange mutilations and disappearances. And so we begin. So we start off with a lovely, lovely roll. So it says story skill check. Speech 6. Any one character, +2 if you're in nightmare mode. I'm not, because I'm not crazy. So who's the good talker? Hey, good talker. None of you. I will say Magra is going to step up because she's the spy and she's going to do it. So she needs to roll a 6 from rolling a d10. 6 or higher. 6 or higher. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. So, try as you might, you are unable to find a first-hand account of any of the occurrences. You decide your best course of action is to search the town at night for a sign of the suspicious figure or any other disturbances. This will not be the first time you see me roll a 1. I'm just going to let you prepare yourself. Your Baba Voss better live up to that name. I hate when I make up missing vital organs. That's when I know it was a bad day. Or a good day, right? Okay, so we've got our map set up, which is what you see here. So I've already shuffled, and I'll reshuffle because, you know, I don't do the shenanigan bit. So it's basically, we gotta search clues to find out what's going on. This is the town of Kremel. No, sorry, Eurotrust, in the nation of Kremel. This is the Eurotrust. So we're in Eurotrust, we need to find out what's going on. We got these little tokens here. I'm gonna pick up. I'm gonna reshuffle them. Because our primary goal is to investigate these compasses to find out what's what. So I'm gonna shake these up. I'm gonna put this one here. Picking up some more. This is all Brian's fault. I'm gonna put this one here. I'm willing to believe that. I'm willing to accept that, Kate. This is Brian's fault. Go here. If you don't know who Baba Voss is or Magra, I say look into the TV series called See, S-E-E. It is amazing. It is an amazing series. And you will go here. Okay, then we've got investigation points and clue stuff that we can look at to get more stuff. What's going on? Randomly spawn each character on a starting zone space representing S1, S5 on the map. Okay, so randomly place the compass tokens, which I did, but we randomly need to place. So I'm going to roll a d6 and see where Baba is going to land. Yeah, now I roll a 6. I'll say a 6 and a 1 are the same, because why not? Okay, so you will appear up here. And Magra, 2 couldn't be more further from each other if you paid me. Alright, so they're all going to start there. Okay, on the adventure map, whether foes are present or not, you must roll initiative for anyone in play. So for initiative, let's talk about the initiative track. So we're going to roll for initiative. For Baba, we're going to roll... I told you, you're going to be seeing a lot of this. I rolled a 1. So he's going to go there. For Magra, a 2. Combat's going to be fun. Then we're going to shuffle the initiative cards. Roll a 1 and a 2. Alright, so whenever you're playing, you draw 2 initiative cards, 1 foe card. So initiative 1, I'll place over here, will go on 3. Am I just moving up the chain with these things? Okay, and then my second initiative card, flanking, will go on 4, 10. Okay. And then our foe tactic, because it's for real. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm a dad joke machine. Okay, so let's move these off here so you can get a better view of them here and okay, foe tactic, resourceful. Where will you be going? 3. So foe 1 will be on 3, and I keep putting this forward. Okay, so that is where everything is. All right, so we've set up initiative to say who's going first, who's going wherever they're going. Okay, randomly place the compasses, which you saw me do. It is dark, which is not fun. So I have the lovely candle of dark, and if you flip it over, I think this is a great thing that Greenbrier did, whereas they gave you the token, and then it tells you what it means on the back. So in darkness, everybody, I tune in to find out I missed. Hey Heather, what's going on? So with darkness, its melee is -5 might and range is -10 might. And that's how much it is to hit because it's dark. It's dangerous in the dark. At the end of every non-combat round, the leader must roll a d10 to see what the heck happened. Our objective, should we choose to accept it, is to investigate all the compass tokens. Investigate the compass tokens for clues. Spend your action while adjacent to one in order to flip it over and then read the appropriate story moment. Optionally, we have an optional goal of investigating all the search locations and unlocking the gate. We could do that so we can see what happens. And yes, that's a gate. I'll turn it this way so it doesn't look Too weird. Say gay. Okay, that's where we begin. We start there. There's no more craziness. We're ready to dive into the game, and we're ready to go. Like I said, it has been a minute, so I've got the rule book here just in case I need it, but I also have you, chat, to make sure that I'm not screwing up when I play. Alright, so we go down the initiative track. The Viper Maiden goes first. She has a stride of 4, so she can move 4 spaces. And the entrance to this inn is here. If I'm going to go through this, I just can't walk through walls. Oh, not with that attitude. Well, I can't walk through walls, but I can go through doors. Alright, so she will move, and I believe, like I said, it has been a minute. I think we get... Oh, it's in 2 character games. See, this is why I need to review some of this stuff to get my head right. In a 2 character game, we give each other an extra bandage. Give each character a random animal or militia card. So he will get the militia. Only if the character has a free companion slot. It's gonna be fun, Heather. Make it back when you can. I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere. So, give each character a random animal or militia companion. He will get a militia companion. So he will get a squire. You cannot lose or break items. You may equip one two-handed weapon with one hand. Cool. And she will get an animal companion. And we get a random boon. There we go. So she is going to get a mongoose. Given a boon at the start of a story. Gain a boon at the start of a story. Exhausts for the story to unexhaust another card. So she's going to get 2 boons. So we will grab the boons. Bandage. Give them a shuffle. She gets 2. And he gets 1. So she'll get that. Pick it up. And she'll get that. And he will get that. Alright, so this boon for Baba Voss says I could take an additional move if I spend that boon. Hers is recover all power points and reroll a failed skill check. Where was that earlier? Okay, so sorry. Just making sure that I am ready to play. It says ready to play. I'm used to just moving on the world map, which makes things easier. When I'm in town, that's an interesting one. So for the world map, I just move and go to an area. It says just go there and then deal with combat. So I'll say that she will stride 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I believe she has she can just move and do 1 action. And I think that action might be to move again. Yeah, character actions. Character actions may be taken in any order. The leader acts first, continuing with character to the left. That's not true anymore. Until our characters taken their turn, a character may hold their actions, but then can act only. So I can move. Yeah, this is adventuring. So character actions may be taken in any order during their turn. The leader acts first, continue with the character. And then I can interact as an action, or fight as an action. So I can move, fight, move, interact. I can move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. That ends her. That ends her. Then it goes to the warlord. He'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. And his action is he's going to try to pick that lock. He's going to do trickery. He's going to be sly. Quick. So it says, so unlock the gate by passing trickery 6. So I get a +1 to trickery. Hey, 5 + 1, 6. All right. So success. Remove the gate from the map and gain 8 lore. Baba. 8 lore. Okay. And that ends his turn. Okay, so it's dangerous in the dark. At the end of every non-combat round, the leader must roll a d10. Well, Baba's the leader. He's going to roll a d10. And let's roll a red one. I rolled a 2. A random character must pass trickery 5 or be accosted in the night. Oh, okay. So trickery 5, I got a +1. That's an 8. That's a pass. So if we failed, we would have skirmished and gain a danger token. So we didn't fail. Haha. Take that, jerk. Okay, so we're good. It's not a random character. I picked him. I'm supposed to roll and see who's gonna do it. But they both have +1 trickery, and I rolled a 7. It happened. All right, so that is that. That's the end of the round. Round 2. Round 2. Okay. Well, Viper Maiden. 1, 2, 3. She'll go here, and then she will investigate that thing. So when you investigate that, you roll investigate. Once again, I'm just going through the rules, make sure I got it. Here it is. I basically do a search. To begin the search, roll a d10 and we'll see what happens. Unless otherwise specified by the story, the results are. So let's roll. I rolled a 9. That is a 9. Success. I may draw 1 card from the item deck. So we grab the item deck, and I'm only using the items from this expansion, but you can blend it all together with the rest of the expansions. Dark Tales and the base game to get a massive deck of items. I feel really bad because I Dyson I can't remember who it was. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm using your rules. He said that you separate the items deck into weapons, accessories, like separate them out by their type. And then when you say to draw a random one, you draw one from one of the decks you want. So you'll know, okay, well, I'm looking for a weapon. I need a weapon. So you randomly draw from the weapon deck and see what you get. Which I really like that idea. So anyway, we flip this over, and I got a barbed spear. It has reach 2, penetrate 1, so penetrate is pierce, and fun stuff. So I found that. Cool, that goes in inventory for use. And that gets rid of this blue token, this search token. And that will end her turn. His turn, he will do 1 and then flip this over. It is an E. So E is story moment 30 on page 60. Story moment 30 on page 60. Okay. You find a starving dog tied to a tree. Oh, that's awful. He growls in fear as you approach. Pass ecology 7. Well, I get a +1 to ecology. That sucks. That's a 2. So I failed that. The cur bites you, lose 3 vita, and gain 1 danger token. So I lose 3 health. So I go from 22 to 19. All right, and gain a danger token. Okay. Danger. You get these lovely things, and I didn't want to pop them all out. And at the back, if you're like, well, what are danger tokens? What do they look like? Well, on the back, it kind of tells you, so you could just scan real quick. Danger, right here. Sorry, you can't see. Danger token. So, pop that out, and I gain a danger token. What do they mean? I don't know. Alright, so... once the group... So, I did that. That happened. I investigated that. That's good. And that ends my turn. We need to roll a d10. Roll a 5. You come upon a group of watchmen patrolling the streets. A random character must pass speech 5. So, we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. Baba. Baba, you need to pass a speech 5. He gets no boons for it. A 7. All right. There is a variant also with separated items for combats, and depending on what you fight, you have different chances of different item categories, like fighting spirit from armor item. That's awesome. Thanks, Dream Alchemist. That's awesome. The initiative track there is the biggest difference. It includes some tactics of the end. Oh, was there a question asked? I got to roll back because I was looking at table. Heather, let me check it out. I've been looking for this play. How does combat differ from the base game? I love the base game. It was my first campaign in Dungeon Crawl. I've been thinking about getting this to play with the kids again. The difference is the initiative board, just like Jason said. The initiative track is the huge difference. Also, town events. There is new town events now. There's a town events deck that operates like road events or off-road events when you're in towns, and you actually do combat in towns now instead of just on the map. So I'm in a town now, walking around doing stuff. So those are the differences. Those are the major differences about this game. The town events, you have city events, and then the initiative track. Everything else kind of, there's additions to other things, tweaks to other things, but that's it. Yep, that is correct. Sorry I missed that. Hey, Brian, what's going on? Can't stick around too long, but want to stop and say hi. Thanks for stopping by. You're always welcome to pull up a chair. Okay, so I passed the speech check. You receive aid from the guard. Recover 1 Vita. So I'm like, my name is Baba Voss. Leave me alone. And they're like, okay, sounds legit. So I'm up to 20. All right. And next round. 1, 2, 3, and I'll investigate this one, which is A. All right, so A is story moment 50 on page 61. Story moment 50 on page 61. As you turn the corner, you witness a masked individual scaling a building towards the rooftop. Assuming he is up to no good, you call out a warning from him to stop. He drops deftly back to the ground and draws a wicked-looking blade. Encounter a cutthroat with half his Vita, placing him on the compass token after gain 2 danger points. So we're gonna start fighting. Encounter a cutthroat at half his health. Well, we're not skirmishing, we're encountering. So we've got the cutthroat here. He has he's at half health. So we're gonna do the maths. We're gonna do the maths, which is let's see. His health is health at 5 players is 27. So 27 divided by 5. People who, I don't have time to do math in my head. Is 5 health. So it would be, so it's 5 health, 5.4 rounded, which would be 5, right? Because it's rounded. I'm rounding up or down, it doesn't matter. So it'd be 5 health. So 5 health per person. At 2 player, he has 10 health. So so it's 5 per person, 5 per player. So 2 player, 10 health. Half health, so he's dead. So he only has 5 health. So we're going to be encountering him with 5 health, and he is there. Cool. So let's roll his initiative. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage. And if you need me to explain that, let me know. Be like, what? Huh? What the heck are you talking about? Let me know, and I'll run through it. So roll for his initiative. He rolled a 6. He's going to get to punch me first. If he was within 1 space of this tactic, he would then do this then he would then immediately gain the tactic. But he's higher up. He's going first anyway because he pulls out a blade and he's going to punch me in the face. It is dusk. This is the thing. Remember when I was saying that I would talk about dusk? If you look at his card, it is dusk. He has 0. He gets 0 bonus. I have to roll a 42 or higher to hit him. He has a stride of 4, and then I gain stuff. He is a melee fighter. He has a special move. Every round, the Cutthroat will randomly target a different character with an ally adjacent to them within the Cutthroat's stride. If they cannot, the Cutthroat will target any character randomly within their stride. And then this is what happens if he hits us. So we'll talk about that if he does. What he does, and I'm going to use his red die, is we grab a percentile die and a d10, and we roll them. And if he hits, because he's attacking her, oh, I need to choose what I'm going to do for her. If she's going to attack or defend this round. Okay, so will she attack or defend this round? This round. It's nighttime. Ooh. I'm going to just stick with attack. Let's see what happens. So he's going to roll these dice. If he hits a 36 or higher, he hits me. Okay, so let's start that off. He rolled a 5 because that's double 0. So he rolled a 5. He whiff and a miss, swing and a miss. Okay. So then it comes down to my turn on the initiative track. Well, well. Now I need to swing at him, and I'm going to use. I'm going to shoot him in the face with, well, no, that's ranged. Exhaust the force of foe to reroll their attack against you. Do that. Reach 2. I'm going to hit him with the barbed spear. I'm going to hit him with the barbed spear that I just found. Stick in his face. And I need to hit for his defense is 42. I rolled an 11. Welcome to the stream. So we both missed. Then it is his turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That ends that. We go to the next round. Ugh. Alright, so the next round, the Cutthroat's gonna go. This is kind of a they go, we go type of deal because of how we rolled initiative. So. And it says that we redraw. Oh, it's at the end of combat. That's what it is. At the end of combat, we'll redo it. Alright, so. He says, every round, the Cutthroat will randomly target a different character with an ally adjacent to them within the Cutthroat's stride. There's no ally adjacent to him, so that's not going to happen. So he's going to continue on his strikes against her. He rolled a 57. He hit me. However, I'm going to exhaust the Jambia to basically force you to reroll that attack. You rolled a 22. Miss. Hey. Okay. Then I'm going to. She is going to stick him again with the pointy end of the barbed spear. I rolled another 11. This is going to be a long fight. Alright, so. Yeah, she doesn't have any spells that can really help. And then it'll be the Warlord's turn, who will. He's going to spend a power point to move up 1 on the track. And then he's going to move. And then he's going to attack this guy. 18. I'm rolling great. Great. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's keep it rolling, folks. 85. So that random. So odds even. So it's evens. It's gonna hit Magra. So 85 does hit. Now you get to see what happens with a hit. You take the 5 and you put it against what's in here, which is Into the Shadows. I will lose 1d4 Vita, Razor 1. The Cutthroat becomes untargetable until the start of their next turn. Let's find out what Razor means. Keywords, Razor. Razor is a new one for me. It means something. I know it. Story moments. Story moments. Story moments. Doesn't mean anything in this book. Let's see what the rulebooks say about Razor. Razor. Causes that number damage to target for 4 rounds at the start of each of their turns. So I take 1 damage for 4 rounds all the time. Awesome. So I'm going to lose 1d4 to start. So I lose 3 health. 18. And then I'm going to get a -1 for 4 rounds. Okay. Cool. And then he is untargetable. Does that mean I just the round is just lost on him? Untargetable. Not ideal. So untargetable. I guess that just means I can't hit him, can't touch him. He steps into the shadows, can't see him. He got away scot-free. No swinging. And plus, I'm supposed to be doing -5 to my fights anyway, so me missing him is alright. Okay. The Viper Maiden at the start of her turn, she loses a health, so she goes down to 17. And that is 1 tick. 4. Why did you give me Razor? Okay. She can't fight this guy. Nothing to do. She'll spend the power point to move up on the track. That's all she'll do. So she's down 1 power point. She's used 4. He's used 2. He's dead. Okay. Alright, that's the end of that. Well, now she's going to get that bonus, and we'll see what that looks like when it comes up. But not before Rando attacks. It is evens. It's her again. That is a 10. That is a miss. Then it is her turn, so she's going to lose a point of health. Go down to 16. I'm playing action music for you. Then she is going to... She gets the buff from this card, so she'll get plus 1d4 to melee damage. So I need to hit, please. 99. Awesome. -5. 94. Still hits. Guy has 5 health. Because of the buff, I get 1d4, plus 1d4 to my damage. So I roll 1d4 plus 1. I got a 4 plus 1, 5, and then I get an extra plus the. And then I get an extra 3, so 8 points of damage. I kill him. He's dead. Good grief. Okay, so I get everybody gets 4 coins and 15 lore. So lore 4 coins. 4 coins. 15. Okay, cool. And he's dead. That was terrible, but that was the end of that. Does it say anything that... Nope, I just a skirmish with the guy, doesn't it? Yeah, gain 2 danger tokens. Yeah. So, so I've got 3 total. Okay. Who's next? So then we chuck these away. Combat's over. Get some new cards. New initiative. 8. One. And a new foe. Tactic. 9. Okay. Murderer! He got in my way. He got in my way. Okay, so then we go into next round. Viper Maiden. You will. That was combat round, so we don't have to roll the d10. So there's a compass here, and 2 compasses over there. So wow, they are really spaced out. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now we need to roll. It says random. Odds even. So it's you are gonna have to roll a d10. I rolled a 9. Nothing happens. Awesome. Next round. 1, 2, 3, 4, and investigate. D. 117 on page 66. 117. You notice a storehouse door standing ajar. How can a door be ajar? Roll a d6 and see what happens. Roll a 3. It is eerily dark inside, making you spooked 4. So I need to test spooked. And I just have to roll a d10 and beat a 4. I rolled a 1. I'm going to spend this boon to re-roll. Stop with the 1s, please. I rolled a 7. There we go. So, if I fail it, I gain 1 danger token. I did not fail it. Good grief. Okay. Alright, so that ends that. Then it's his turn. Baba will go here and do the search. He will roll. He rolled an 8. What does an 8 get? Success. The character can draw 1 item from the item deck. Hey. Item. I got some shoes. These new Air Force 2s. +5 defense. Ignore stride penalties while on desert maps. I think I'd do that anyway. but sure. I got an item for that. For that. And now we need to pick at random. Odds, evens. Odds, it's your turn, Baba. 3. A random character must pass trickery 5 or be accosted in the night. So, trickery 5. Sure. 3 plus 1, 4. I failed. So I'm accosted in the night. The character failing must roll on the skirmish table and skirmish with the creature whose counter is at 2. Only characters participating in the skirmish receives the rewards. After the skirmish, the group gains 1 danger token. So I need to roll a d10, and I'm going to see who I'm going to be fighting. I rolled a 6. Who am I fighting? Cutthroats. So now you get to see a skirmish. So cutthroat skirmish. And it says the counter is on 2. And fun time. Okay, so let me put this over here. This table space is real. And it's Baba taking on the cutthroats. So, what's gonna happen here? It's dusted 0. They get no modifiers. Their defense is 42. Okay, so yeah, they get to go first. They rolled an 81. That definitely hits. When it does, lose 1d4 plus 1 Vita. If the cutthroat's attack roll is 80 plus, they take cover in the shadows and gain plus 20 defense during our turn. Plus 20. Fun. So I lose 5 health. Go down to 15 health. Yay. Okay. Plus 20. So I have to beat a 62. I got a 15. I got a 15. Alright. Their turn. 24. Yes. 6. Life's good. 59. That is a hit. 4 health. Coming off me. Going to 11. Fun. Oh, I was supposed to do the thing. It says gain plus 2 initiative, and you may attack before creatures during your first round of the skirmish. But I'd have to use an energy point. Didn't matter. I missed it. It's all good. 75. Minus 5 for darkness. I'm good. So I hit them, and when you hit them, you don't roll damage. All you do is tick it down. You tick it down 1. I basically killed one of them, and now there's another one coming. 71, which does hit. 2 plus 1, 3, minus 1, 2 damage. I'm at 8 health. Sorry, 9 health. I'm going to use a bandage. Get 4 health back. And 13. $19. That's why I needed it. 23, which is a miss. 69. A 42 minus 5. I'm good. They're dead. So they die. I get 5 gold for that. 9 gold. And one of the rules, and I'll add it to the description later to just give that guy his credit. He did a great job. He doubled coins that he got, so instead of 5, I'd have gotten 10, so you can strengthen yourself up. But this game's so much fun. We'll see. Okay, so they die. Next round. Piper Maiden. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yusa. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Rando has to roll for what's going to happen. It is evens. It's the Viper Maiden dealing with a 10. Nothing happens. She's good. She's good. Okay. Next round, she will move 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and wait to search that clue next. He will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then flip this to a C. C is Order 66. C is 65, 105. 65, 105. 105. You glimpse something from your darkest nightmares, a hulking horror grotesquely stitched together, waving multiple pairs of arms about. Pass a nerve check 5. Do I have nerve? I do. I have +1 on that. Nerve check. Are you kidding me? You saw it was on 8. You saw it! Anyway. Whatever. You are shocked by the grotesqueness of such a creation and fail to dodge its flailing arms. Lose your next turn, take 1d6 damage, and gain 1 danger token. So I take 2 damage, going down to 11 health. And we gain a danger token, and I lose my turn. There's 1 danger token left to get. So, okay. Okay. That's going to count against us somehow. Alright. There was no combat that round, so odd or even it. Even. Viper Maiden. 8. Nothing happens. We're good. Next round, she is going to search. And she will move, but she will search first. She got a 10. She gets an item. She got a Qatar. Okay. Cool. And then she's going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. He lost his turn. He doesn't have a turn. So that ends that round. Viper Maiden again. That's a 9, so nothing happens. And she will move 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He will move 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Odds or evens. So as you can see, we're styling. He's going. You roll a 1. Yay, he needs to pass a trickery 5. He got a 5 plus 1, 6. He passed it. We're good. Oh, we had a skirmish, right? On the table, I was supposed to receive a danger. Oh, I did. I did receive the danger token. No, I was supposed to receive another danger token after that skirmish. So that's not going to go well for us. But we're at the finish line. So 1, 2, 3, flip it. B. 8 on 59. You round the corner to see a gargoyle statue perched on the rooftop of a nearby shop. It seems like such an odd location for this sort of statue. You stop to observe it for a moment when suddenly its head turns towards you, its eyes filled with blah 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 malice. Encounter a gargoyle, placing it on the compass. The character who interacted with this token gains +2 initiative if you pass nerve 5. The gargoyle has half its normal vita, which after the combat, the character who flipped over the compass token receives +5 lore, and then we gain 2 danger tokens, but I think we got them all. There's no more danger tokens to gain in the pack. So, okay. So, initiative for gargoyle. Gargoyle. Where are you? Not part of this expansion, are you? Yep, you're part of the first one. Right. Oh, I didn't think I'd be fighting a gargoyle today. So we will look for a gargoyle. Yes, there are a lot of enemies in this game for you to fight. An imp. Just down, but beast. Yep, vampires, that's the thing. Restless spirits, that's the thing. Gargoyle. There you go. So we're going to encounter a gargoyle. Sorry, we're not going to skirmish. We're going to encounter a gargoyle. It will have 12 health, half to 6, so it just has 6 health. And let's find out its initiative. So, Mr. Gargoyle. All the way over there. Well, we're gonna improvise because I did not come prepared. So we're gonna roll and see where he lands on the initiative track. It's a 4. So he's going first. Okay, so Mr. Gargoyle's gonna be attacking us first. He has a 98. That was very close to 100. So, special power. Gargoyles are immune to abilities that contain the psychic keyword. But he did hit me with an 8, which is the Viper Maiden, which is a Crushing Embrace. You lose 1d4 plus 2 Vita as the gargoyle's stony claws grab you. Become fractured. Yay! So, let's test this. This fracture. 8. No, I do not. But I still lose 1d4 plus 2. So I lose max damage, 6. So I'm down to 10 health. Okay. Well, the Viper Maiden's going to spend a power point to shift her way down. And she is going to attack. Stupid face. So, for a 51, you have 58. It's in darkness. So that's just a miss. Ooh. Okay, so... Oh, and you, at the start of combat, before making your first attack, gain 2 Vita. So we're going to do that. So then, his turn, he's going to spend 1 to gain 2 Vita. So he's down to 2. He gains 2. So he's at 2 power points. He's actually going to spend 1 to move down on the track. Going last, but getting the buff. And then he's going to roll for a 32. Oh, yep. Okay, so then it is the gargoyle's turn. 53. Slaughtering people. Yeah. Okay. With a 3, you and all characters adjacent to you, to the gargoyle, are pushed 2. Okay, so I'm going to get pushed 2. That's it. No damage on 2. Okay, I'm using the B to be the gargoyle, because I don't have the mini out with me. Okay. She is going to use PowerPoint again. Move down 1. Let's do the thing. First, she needs to get on him. 1, 2. Then 94 minus 5. That's enough. So I hit you with the sticky, pointy part of my weapon. Max 4 plus 1, 5. 5 damage. You got 1 health left. So let's just use this 1. You have 1 health left. Oh, wait. Shoot. You know what I've been forgetting to do on the hits? Adding my bonus damage. Plus 1. So 4 plus 1 from the weapon, plus 1 from the damage bonus. I was supposed to do plus 6 for the hits, but I was never getting close anyway. So, you're dead. I killed you. You're dead. Once again, this is the fiddliness stuff of keeping track of that we have to keep in mind. This is why I like playing one character. Once the group... Either obtains 5 danger tokens or flips all compass tokens immediately. So let's say we never got to D because we got the 5th danger token before we got the last compass. So story event 130. 130 on page 67. 130. Your skin crawls as you sense a presence behind you. You turn to see a tall man staring down at you with hard, dark eyes, thin lips, and a face completely covered with old scars. Seeing that his prey has discovered him, he launches at you with razor-sharp scalpel, a grin spreading over his scarred visage. A random character encounters the anatomous affliction, who will appear adjacent to the character. The anatomist will only receive 1 attack per round during this combat. The character may make an awareness 5. Dang it, I hope it's her. I hope it's her. It's not her. Awareness 5. I got a 3. If it was her, she would have made it. If they fail, the anatomist moves 1 slot closer to the nearest foe flag on the initiative board, if not already on it. So lots of stuff to do here. Let me... Crap. Gotta ditch this. Grab 2 new initiatives. 1 new foe tactic. Got to roll for initiative and foe. So you are at 1. Type remains at 1. Warlord's at 2. And the creature thingy is at 7. You'll be there. And says, if they fail, the anatomist moves 1 spot closer to the nearest full flag on the initiative board, if not there already. Okay. If the group has a yellow story marker, the character automatically gains the initiative bonus, and all characters gain +5 defense. Oop. If any character drops below 1 vita, they gain the green story marker, and the narrator must immediately read. If multiple characters die simultaneously, choose something else. If the group defeats, read this story. Okay, so let's... The anatomist. The anatomist. Okay. Ah! So this is the anatomist. All right, Kate, thanks for stopping by. So this is the anatomist we'll be facing. Okay. Let's see what we got. What we got? What was it nice about your... Anything about him? A random character encounters the anatomist affliction, who will appear adjacent to the character. The anatomist will only receive 1 attack per round during his combat. Special moves, you would receive 2. So you have... Did I do that right? It'd be 12 health. This is weird because it's lower health. He would have 12. No, he would have... Instead of having 40 health, he would have 24 health. So he would have 24 health. Mark it. Yeah, 24 health, not 40, because that's harder. Okay. So here we go. He's going to go first because he's on the initiative track to go first. That's just his life. And he's going to try to hit... He's going to pair random character. It would be her. He appears next to her. Let's move. Get rid of this gargoyle. Let's go! 45! Her defense is 36. He's going to take that in the face with a 5. Mad Doctor gripping you tightly, he puts his amputation saw to use. Ugh. Lose 1d4 plus 1, so 3 health, and become weakened. She goes down to 7. And she becomes weakened. And that's weakened. Oh, here it is. Nope. That's wanted. See what weakened means. Place a tracking token on the target for each hit. Remove the tracking token each time the target attacks, and they must roll twice from their attack and take the lower result. So it's disadvantage. Okay. So I'm making a disadvantage roll. So she's going to attack him with disadvantage. So it's either going to be 89 or 67. And his defense is 50 minus 5 for night. I'm still good, so I still hit you. You will take 4 plus 1 plus 1, so 6 damage. You're at 19 health. No, that'd be 25. You're at 18 health. He's at 18 health. Then my dude's turn, 1, 2, because he's not going to miss the fun. And he will take a swing at you. He's going to spend his last power point to gain 2 Vita, going up to 15. And we're good. Okay. 74 plus my might, 79 minus 5, 74 hits. So he hits. I'm hitting you with my Kopash. That is a 4 plus 2, 6 plus 1, 7. That takes him down to 11 health. Pretty decent round. Pretty decent round. All right. His turn. 97. Oh my god. Who's he gonna hit? He's gonna hit her for 97. 7. Same thing. Starts still sawing at me. 3 plus 1, 4 damage. I'm at 3 health. I'm weakened. So let's go to my turn. Band-Aid! So I'm going back up to 7. Okay. Then I will attack. And I'm weakened. So it's going to be a 36 or a 6. So I missed. Plus 5 might, plus 6 might, it's 11. 6 won't mean anything. So your turn. 39 plus 5. So 44. 44. And I need to hit a 50. No good. That was a terrible round. His turn. 66. Oh. And he's hitting. Finally, he's hitting the Warlord. So 6. The Bone Saw comes out. Bone Saw is ready, so that's 4 damage. Warlord's going to 11. Then it is Vipermane's turn. 68 minus 5, which is enough to hit. You will do 4 plus 1, 5 plus 1, 6 damage. Is down to 5 health. Your turn. Come on, dude. I know you're rolling with disadvantage. 56 or 92. So 56 plus 5, 61 minus 5, 56, which still hits. He's doing 2 plus 1, 3 plus 2, 4, 5. Boom, we got him. Hey, we got him. All right, so if the group defeats the anatomist, read story moment 162 on page 69. 162. The group corners the tall, gaunt figure of the anatomist. He nervously clutches his scalpel with his gloved hand. Then, with a maniacal chuckle, he stabs his thigh with a syringe full of green, bubbling liquid. Before you can react, he darts away as though injured. End of the chapter. That's the end of the chapter. So he darts away and he gets away from us. So we encountered him and we beat him. He got away from us, and then it goes immediately to chapter 2, which starts manhunt. We're looking for this person. We're going through. We're going to do town events. There's awareness checks. There's a bunch of stuff going on, and then we go into the sewers to where we go and see where this guy is, and then we go to chapter 3 to finish it off, and then begin the next story. So we just played the first chapter of story 1 of Into the City of Fall of the Spire. Oh, I need to drink some water. Woo. Okay, so let me get this guy's name right, and we'll chat and talk about this. BGP, Folklore, and go to the file section because I want to give him credit. He needs credit. I'll find Folklore. Oh, Spire. It is the Dungeon Dive. That is his name, the Dungeon Dive. He made up. He added these rules. I played with some of them, not all, but he added these rules, the Dungeon Dive, and he has his page that you can go to. But his rules were, and I pulled them up here to look at, and you could find them over on Board Game Geek. But basically, he says house rules for 2 hero experience only 2 hero experience. He doubles all coin reward. So for beating him, it would say get 35 lore and 25 coins. In this case, I'd get 50 coins. So double all coin rewards. Make separate item decks for weapons protection, enhancements, and consumables. And when told to draw a random item, draw 1 from the deck of your choosing. He has bartering in town. When you're bartering in towns, you draw 3 item cards, 1 each for any of the 4 decks you choose to go through, and then you barter and figure out what you're gonna do. So it's kind of like a shop, right? Target tokens. So this is his way of kind of making up for the miss constant thing that you saw that was happening when I was playing. The target token says when you miss with an attack, you gain a target token. You can use that target token to add +5 might on a subsequent attack only. So it's basically saying, I miss, I got a better chance of hitting next time. You can use multiple target tokens, but they must be used before rolling. You can't say, I'm going to roll, okay, I'm going to use a target token. You have to say that you're going to use it before. They do not carry over between maps or skirmishes or after combat. So after combat's over, they're gone. I think that is a great addition. After skirmish, combat, encounters, however you want to do it, you roll the party gets back 1d6 vita and 1d3 power. So basically you roll a d6, the party does, right? So it's not everybody. If you're playing, however you want to house rule it, you can do everybody, but as a party, you'll roll a d6 and a d3 and determine who gets the health and who gets the vita. Enemy health based on max. This is what I did in this round. So if you're looking at this later and you're like, that's not their health at all, you are screwing that up. I'll explain it again, and I use this rule to do it. And I'll actually use this as an example. If we hold this up here and you look at the health of 5 and the health of 2, it's not proportional because the health of 5 is 60 while the health of 2 is 40. So it's a 20-point difference. But if we do the math to say, okay, how much damage, how much health do they have per character, so you do 60 divided by 5, which is 12, then they have 12 health per player. Then all you have to do is saying if you're playing 2 players, you just do 12 plus 12, which is 24, and that's what I did to fight him. So then it scales properly, right? So that's what Dungeon Dive did here with that. I think that's fair. Target token equals too many bones equals bones. Yeah, they do. So that's what was there. The next rule: if you have one extra round after combat to do any searching and investigating on the adventure map before it ends, because usually what it says is when combat ends, you're done, you're over, it's over, kaput. But this one at least gives you a chance to say, okay, I've got one extra round. If there's anything else I want to search for, let me go and see if I can get to it to search that final thing, and go from there. And then, this is a different one that he had that I could see the merit of it, but basically he says road events. You roll a d10. You roll a d10 every single time you move on the global map. Every time. So if your stride is if you're going, because a lot of people don't go off road, so you'll never hit an off road event. So to make it more fair and kind of equitable, you roll a d10 when you move on the road. And if you roll a sorry, let me roll that back. If you roll if you're on the road, you roll a d10 and you draw a road event on a 1 to 3, he says, but I think you should draw a road event anyway. If you go off-road and you roll a d10, you roll a 1 to 4 and you draw an off-road event. So a 1 to 4, you would draw it. However, I think you should draw an off-road event anyway because it's part of the RPG. You're off-road and you're looking at things to see what it is. So that last rule I skip, but 1 to 7 I use. And if you go on Board Game Geek, you can find his rules in there so you can look at it. But I use some of them in this playthrough so you can see. Yeah, Heather, no problem. I hope you enjoyed seeing this variant. It's just, all I really adjusted was the health. I didn't even give myself health back. I was just playing like normal. I took damage. I never healed, except for when I used the bandage. I used boons just like the book told us to. So the only thing that you saw that I used from his variant was the monster's health to scale it. That was the only thing I used. Or otherwise, I'd have been fighting this guy still with 40 health. That's insane for 2 players. He would have murdered me. But this is Folklore Fall of the Spire. This is the first chapter in this beautiful, beautiful book of well-orchestrated story and fun. And there is a lot to do. Let me see how much stories are in here. Story 7. So there's 7 stories. And there are 2 to 3 chapters per story. So it took us an hour and a half to get through chapter 1 of story 1, and it has 3 chapters in that story. So that's how that stuff lines up. Yeah, let's go up to the top and chat. All right, so cool. So I hope you enjoyed that playthrough of Folklore Fall of the Spire. I was thinking to myself, I was like, I really love the above world things of the skirmishes. I love the skirmishes and the town stuff and the town events and the road events and all this other stuff. I was curious to try, and I'm probably gonna give it a whirl and see what happens. If I forgo map combat, every fight's a skirmish, and I only deal with the above world map. And I'm only dealing with the above world map for stuff. So if I have to get to a place that's going to be an encounter, I go to that place and I encounter the Affliction there. Remove like the map sets, and all I'm doing is card draw. I'm just drawing from these decks. If I go to a town, I get a roamer. If I go off road, I draw an off road. If I'm in a town, I draw a town event. If I'm on the road, I draw a road event. And I skirmish whoever I have to fight based on what those things say instead of encounter, just skirmish. And if I have to fight an Affliction, there is no skirmish for them, so it would just be a straight up fight with my stack. And see how that goes. But that sounds like a really cool variant to try. So I might give that a shot and see what that's like. However, if you don't want to do that, that's just me variant, variant mending in my head to make like RPG experience. If you don't want to do that, you want to stick with the maps, stick with the maps. It's a fun game. It's a really great time. I love that the designer still cares about the game to keep working on rules and making things more fun for the gamer. I agree. I love that as well. I think they do a great job with setting that up and making sure that they're reinventing the game, making it fresh and new and making it fun. But it's still a lot of fun. I mean, a good variant is however you want to play it. You can house rule it. The creation module helps you build your own adventure so you can play with your friends like a D&D campaign. The files that are out there on Board Game Geek, there are players who made story journals and scenarios that you can try. I think this has a lot of breadth and depth so that you can really enjoy what you play. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed this and thought it was fun. If I made a mistake with rules, post it in the description. I have very tough skin, so I'm fine. I want feedback. It's the only way I get better. So don't think that you're going to insult me, or don't be scared. If I messed up, let me know. I want people who come and watch this game later or say, hey, how do you play this game? To be able to look in the description and say, oh, okay, yeah, he messed up those rules. And I love commenting and talking with the community, so that is perfectly fine. Yeah, Warren, thanks for stopping by. For anyone else who just kind of wants to share or want to talk or whatever, that's fine too. Next week, I am, let's just call it off work. And so I will be streaming a lot next week, and you'll see a lot of fun stuff coming Marvel Champions. I'm trying to get some other games lined up for the week of play, so we'll see. Plus, the 500 sub stream is happening, which I appreciate so much. All of my YouTube subscribers, I appreciate you. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoy Gen Con. I'm super jealous because I couldn't be there. I will be there next year. Next year will be my first Gen Con ever. I've never been there before, ever in life. So I'll be there next year. I hope to meet you all. If you see me, just be like, hey, Canje, what's up? And I'm more than happy to chat and say hi. I love the community, so it'll be great. Thank you, everybody, for Canje made me buy. So I hope you enjoy it. Give some love out to Julie and the group over at the Greenbrier Games booth. If you are there at Gen Con, just go over there, say hi to them, tell them that Derek said, hey, what's going on? And if you like Folklore, pick it up. Pick up the base game if you're unsure. I would recommend that if you're going to get into Folklore, make sure you get the base game. If you're not going to play with any variant rules, get the Dark Tales expansion for the Rumors and put them together. But you could get the base game, use some variants to get if you just want to go through and experience the story and have a good time with it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great week. I will see you all tomorrow. All right. Insert comment here. See y'all later. Bye.